This is a commercial camel farm. Each day, thousands of camels get milked, pumping out white liquid gold that's made the owner of this farm millions. Raising, using, and consuming camels is a custom ingrained in ancient nomadic Kazakh culture. Today, I'm on a mission to understand how this age-old custom has become a modern money-making machine. This farm is producing over 120 tons of camel meat each year, including this guy. And by the end of this video, we'll see how a camel farm operates. You have a gigantic camel farm. What I hear is the biggest in Kazakhstan. Is this true? From the cradle to the gravy. I guarantee you have not had this before. This is smoked camel hump. But before that, Bekruz and I are being treated to a camel canapé. Bekruz?
Hi, man.
Sydyk is the only restaurant in Almaty that specializes in camel meat, serving everything from camel hump to camel burgers and even camel milk ice cream. But today, we're here for some Manti. This is basically camel dumplings right here that we're looking at. But first, let's head to the kitchen to see how they make it. The dish starts with the wrapper, made with flour, eggs, and salted water. Mix and knead the dough until it's ready for the next step. You said you've tried camel before, but maybe one time. When have you ever tried camel?
Way before. I was in Uzbekistan.
Oh, so you guys do have it there?
Yeah, we have them. It's not a part of the cuisine for sure.
Listen, by the end of today...
Probably I'm gonna have my own hump.
Yeah. Nice. The filling is a flavorful mix of chopped onions and minced camel meat, with a touch of camel fat for richness. It's seasoned simply with salt and black pepper. Now, something special about these is they use the camel meat from the back legs. Big quad.
Oh, now I understand why you picked this spot. So
Exactly.
we can make like anatomical references. Like, oh.
100 IQ. The filling is wrapped in dough and shaped into dumplings. Then boiled in a rich camel meat broth. Voiceover complete. And we're back. A little bit of a camel stock right here. It's a lot hotter than I expected. That's good.
It's like a chicken soup for your soul. This soup wants me invade somewhere, you know?
Okay, so that's just the broth. But right here, we have the actual dumpling.
Wow.
It's like the perfect size. I love it.
This is so good, man.
A delicious wrapper on the outside, and then just a miniature explosion of camel meat and fat.
It doesn't have that kind of distinct taste or flavor to
Right.
it.
If you had to compare it to any other animal, what would you compare it to? Let the record show that you've never had pork.
Beef?
Could be.
What do you think? Haram incoming.
A little porky.
Oh my god.
The camel meat served in this restaurant comes from the only industrial camel farm in the entire country. And that's exactly where we're headed to next. Here, you have a gigantic camel farm. What I hear is the biggest in Kazakhstan. Is this true?
Yeah.
This is Sydyk. He started his camel business in the 90s, saving money for 2 years before he could buy his first camel.
This is the biggest farm in the country and he has 5,000 heads.
5,000?
Yeah.
Now he owns 20 camel farms in this region, making him the second largest camel farmer in the world, right behind some guy in Dubai.
Around 1,500 new babies being born in a year.
Oh, wow. Today, I'm on a mission to discover how one man single-handedly controls the camel products of an entire country, and to get a true taste of this remarkable animal beyond just dumplings. And it all starts right here. How old are these guys surrounding us right now?
They're 3 months old.
Can I hug this one?
Yeah, you can do.
I'll just be very coy about it. You know, it looks like I want to capture it, but I just want to give it a hug. Okay, I'll try later. Reminds me of dating in high school.
He likes your joke.
Don't laugh at me. Moving on. They live a good life, grazing freely across over 120 acres of land owned by Sydyk. Once the females reach the age of 5, they're ready to give birth and start producing milk.
He came up with a new way of dehydrating milk and creating milk powder. Apparently, China is the biggest customer.
China's like the biggest customer for everything.
Everything.
Except for democracy. However, the fate of male camels differs slightly, as most are sent to the slaughterhouse when they turn 3. I'm very excited because later today we're going to build up to the actual slaughtering of the camel, and you and I will try an epic camel feast. But first I want to learn more about the milking process, because I've heard that camel milk actually contains a lot of health benefits. Backed up by Google.
Man, it sounds like Jurassic Park.
It's just a non-stop bellowing of hundreds of camels. They have such a low, guttural, intense voice. When they overlap, it sounds like I'm on a different planet right now. In order for milking to be successful, the camels must be accompanied by their offspring. If not, the mothers will stubbornly refuse to release their milk. Right now, I'm about to audition for an exciting career as a camel milker. But before you see me get too intimate with a camel, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. Self-doubt. It's that little voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, smart enough, or just plain enough. Sometimes it's so loud it stops you from going after what you want. Whether it's making a big life decision or just trying to get through the day, that voice can hold you back. And hey, I know I can come off as very confident, strikingly handsome, charismatic. But even I have dealt with serious self-doubt. Like in my 20s when I uprooted my whole life and moved everything to South Korea. Well, these moments and these times in your life are where therapy come in. Therapy gives you a safe space to unpack those feelings, talk through your challenges, and get expert guidance. With BetterHelp, accessing that support is easier than ever. BetterHelp connects you with licensed therapists online, so you can start working through your struggles from the comfort of your own home. It's easy to get started. Just fill out a quick questionnaire, and BetterHelp will match you with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. You can communicate with your therapist via phone, video, or even messaging. And if your first match doesn't work out, that's okay. Switching therapists is easy and free. BetterHelp also offers some cool extras like a built-in journal for personal reflection and group sessions on different topics that might resonate with you. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5-star rating on Trustpilot, you know you're in good hands. So if you're ready to kick self-doubt to the curb, visit BetterHelp.com/BestEverFood or scan the QR code on the screen. Use the code BestEverFoodReviewShow for a special discount on your first month of therapy. Start building your confidence with BetterHelp today. Go to BetterHelp.com/BestEverFood or scan the QR code to get started. Now, back to the show. Aha, here's what I've learned. This is probably not the son or daughter of this guy right here. This one wants to give milk, this one wants to take milk. They work it out. So, I have literally never used this before, but I'm gonna figure it out right now. Sorry, baby. This daily routine goes on for about 18 months from the time they give birth. Oh, there we go. Are they on comfortably?
He says for 20 years we were manual and it's a lot of labor. So I went to Germany, got that know-how from there and brought it. Because the milking style differs from the cow, that's what he says. In cow you pull it.
Yeah.
But here you just squeeze it.
How do the babies get enough milk to be healthy and to grow if you're taking the milk?
Camels are very smart. They will not let you to dry them up. They will give you some milk and they withhold for the babies later on. So once they release, they again united with their babies and babies can continue.
So from here, the most important thing after collecting the milk is to try the milk. Once the milk is slurped up by the machines, it goes through a filtration system removing unwanted particles. Then it's held in these containers in the refrigeration room, chilling out before the milk is eventually pasteurized. For folks who don't know at home, when they're drinking cow milk, usually it's been pasteurized, meaning it's been heated up to kill any bacteria. So this should be quite a unique raw camel milk experience we're about to have.
He says this is the best way to drink it, straight from the source. He says it's a little salty, it's a mineralness, which is not common in other animals. Man.
Super creamy.
And sweet.
A bit warm, which should be obvious. It just came out of a warm animal's body, I guess.
Probably this is the freshest milk I drank in a while.
Well, since you're maybe 6 months old. What's really amazing is that this milk then can become cream, butter, various types of cheeses. So this, he's saying, is one of his favorites. It's a type of cheese. It has a cheesiness to it, slightly sour. It's very thick and condensed. It almost tastes a little bready too. That's a unique flavor profile.
It's a really nice combination if you drink it with a strong tea or coffee.
Or wine.
I don't know.
Right now, the freely roaming camels are heading back to the farm. In a moment, one of these bowls will end up on our dining table, including the camel's mysterious protruding hump. Soon we're going to be experiencing some of the camel meat here, but first I have some questions about the health benefits of this milk.
It has some antibacterial function, but as he thinks, it increases your immunity to max level. And he says if your immunity is high enough, your body can fight any diseases.
Now, I've heard of milk being prescribed for certain health benefits, but I've also heard of camel urine being prescribed.
Yeah, definitely urine is used for medicinal purposes.
People drink it?
Yeah, they drink it. He says it used to be in old times, the people who couldn't find a treatment through traditional like pills and stuff. So desperate people come and this is their last resort. But I think, imagine, doctor says, bro, you got 2 months life left.
Right.
And you just heard that,
Try
you just
anything.
go there.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah. He says, I don't sell it, promote it. People come and ask for that and how I can say no to those people.
How nearby is this urine?
So it's not this place, it's a different place.
Good. I think that's for the best.
Aside from selling gallons and gallons of camel milk, Sydyk also specializes in camel meat. Meat that comes from 3-year-old male camels like this.
This is the prime age for slaughtering. This farm is producing over 120 tons of camel meat each year, including this guy. As unusual as camels and camel meat might seem, this is still a meat that is considered halal, meaning it is permissible to eat for Muslim folks. But a few steps must be adhered to during the slaughtering process. First of all, the person slaughtering, actually slitting the throat, must be Muslim, and he says a little prayer before slitting the throat. From there, it bleeds out and all the blood must be discarded and not consumed at all. Butchering is about to begin, but I wanted to show you this right here. The bigger, the more voluptuous the hump, the healthier the camel. In a moment, they're actually gonna cut this out, remove the hump, and this is gonna be used for a special dish we'll be trying later today. Can I say that I'm excited? No.
Camel can go 20, 28 days without drinking water. He's using this as an energy source. So of course it's highly nutritious, so people tend to use it. And he says this is a power bank of a camel.
Yeah, right. It seems that the hump is just made out of fat, right?
You can draw a comparison to it, but it says it's more tough when you chew it, it's more bitey. Texture-wise, it's closer to meat.
While the men continue butchering the camel, an appetizer is underway. The camel hump is first boiled, then seasoned simply with salt and pepper, before finally sizzling away on a mini grilling station.
Oh, you're gonna like it. So it helps to boost manpower.
We can all use some of that, am I right? I was excited. Now I'm a little bit scared of the potential consequences of eating this in the middle of a desert where it's just a bunch of dudes working with camels. Cheers, my man.
Hakuna Matata. Bro,
Melt in your mouth.
I'm trying to find words to describe it.
It's so rich.
Freaking rich, man.
It's almost like eating straight butter. I think you could just spread it over bread or something. But the flavor's good.
It's amazing. I'm trying to find things that will repel me because camel is quite odorous animal.
Odorous, I like it.
Yeah. But doesn't translate to its fat and food. Maybe it's a way of cooking, but I think it tastes like foie gras.
The foie gras of the camel. As far as I understand, you are the only one in Almaty with a camel store / restaurant where people can pick up these products, right?
Yeah.
You literally have a camel monopoly, a camelopoly. Is this expensive?
It's not that expensive. Let's say 1 kilo of beef is 2,800. This is 3,000.
What part of the camel is the most expensive?
Tuyana qaysi qismi eng qimmat qaysi? So it's a pure like meat part, like filet.
When someone says steak, most of us picture a juicy cut of beef. But here, they're doing steaks the Kazakh way, carving out juicy portions of camel protein, seasoned with salt and pepper, then grilled to perfection.
So far, we've had the camel with a lot of other ingredients, and it's been hard to really figure out the actual taste, but I wanted to have a chance to taste the meat directly to see truly what the camel tastes like. That will be happening soon as these cook to a beautiful medium rare.
Let's try it.
Let's do it. It's been quite a day, and after an exhausting day on the camel farm, I like to drink some camel alcohol.
It's not a camel.
Okay, well, what is it?
It's a Shabbat.
Shabbat, but it's fermented camel milk.
Just the 1%.
1%. I just feel the stress melting away.
Tastes like yogurt.
Yeah, basically a liquid yogurt, a touch sour. Should we go for it? Please. Oh, okay, there you go. Ugh. All we have is a butter knife.
Bro, it's enough.
It's plenty. Cheers.
Wow.
Different.
Really interesting.
Yeah, how do you explain that? It's a very clean taste and it's not gamey. If you had to compare camel meat to an animal, what would you compare it to?
Joining the table, Sydyk's son, Akrorbek.
The closest reference would be beef.
Yeah, but it's not beef. What about you?
He says it's really hard to describe. I just put it on a different segment.
I would say something like a combination of beef, rabbit, and a little bit the smell of camel hair.
You don't expect this meat to be this good, honestly.
I might like this more than beef, I think. We have one dish remaining that we've not tried.
Shurpa. Basically, you throw everything and you just boil for a very long time.
Our final dish of the day, camel soup. It's made with rib meat and a portion from the back leg.
60% of this meat goes to the south of the country because south of the country consumes camel more frequently.
All simmered in a Kazan with a bit of camel fat.
For all the people that you're selling meat to now, before this place existed, where were they getting it?
Then come the onions, carrots, bell peppers, and potatoes.
Before him, this industry was not at that scale. It was just people slaughtering once in a year and meat was distributed in the villages. So it wasn't popular across the country. By them creating this much of production, they were making like more consumer friendly.
Seasoned with salt and pepper. The whole pot is left to cook for hours until the meat breaks down into tender, juicy morsels.
This looks like one of the most delicious things we've had so far on this trip. Like, look at that broth. It looks like a deep collagen. It's full of camel essence, crazy savory.
I think this is like a comfort food.
Oh yeah. So the soup is excellent, but right here, a ridiculous camel rib. Cheers.
Wow.
Super rich, but the taste unbeaten.
He's right. There's no reference point.
It's in a league of its own. I mean, folks need to come either to Kazakhstan, to his restaurant, or just to his farm. Can people just roll up to your farm?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yesterday he was telling about German tourists. Oh, those sneaky bastards.
Let's hear it.
It's like, I got two groups, all farmers. I think they tried to get the secrets of camel industry and make Germany great again.
Right.
We don't want this, bro.
What do you think was stopping other folks from commercializing the camel industry like you have?
Well, he says it kind of goes back to history. Let's say around 100 years ago, in Kazakhstan, there were around more than 1 million camels. As you know, after Soviet came and USSR was made, private farms were cancelled. It was all collective farms. And at that time, once the cars are there, once transportation developed, there was no need for camel. And he says when Kazakhstan gained independence, there were around only 50,000 left out of 1 million. And he was just among the first because he started right after Soviet Union collapsed. So he had a little first mover advantage.
Yeah, right. You have accomplished so much in just over 2 decades. But what's next for either you or this industry in Kazakhstan?
He says, I want to transition to pharmaceutical industry as well. Currently, he has a small clinic. They use camel milk and it's a good supplement to fight the cancer. In 4 years, 15,000 people came to that clinic and got that treatment.
Wow.
And my ultimate goal, he says, because there was no any clinical trial, I want to do this clinical trial and I want to come up with cancer-fighting drugs. And he says, I want to turn it into a legacy business. You see my son, he's already continuing that path.
What are the valuable life lessons that you've learned that other people could apply to their own journeys?
This is not a job. He says he was born in a stable of camel. His mother gave birth in a camel stable.
Wow.
For him, it's nothing. For him, it's easy. But for younger generation, they're coming to this profession. Number one, a suggestion, don't be afraid. Because if you're afraid of this, then it's not yours, that you're not going to go extra step. And second of all, don't jump from one thing to other thing. Life is precious. You don't have much life. And he says, even I'm 60, 5,000 camels are a lot, but I don't want to stop. I want to just keep going because I don't treat it as a job, I treat it as a lifestyle.
Hungry for more fun food videos? Join me at more Best Ever Food Review Show, a channel that's unfiltered, raw, half the quality, and twice the fun.
You walk away and come back. Oh, look, the server.
Subscribe now and you probably won't regret it.
I went to Oman once. They actually have what is akin to a beauty competition for their camels.
What are the standard? Like how they, like what?
Well, probably the hump comes into play.
Okay.
How big it is, how round it is, how voluptuous it is. The females are meant for reproducing and milk, and so we got to keep them around as long as we can. The males can reproduce with a lot of women.
Exactly.
Not like me in high school. I don't know anything about that life. It's like an upgraded version of a horse. It's bigger, heavier, taller, like big breasts on its back.
I would argue because you don't milk the hump. Like
That's a fair point. Let's go. What if I just wheeled away and people are like, God damn, Sonny's been in a wheelchair this whole time? Boom, guys, that is the end of Bekruz. I gotta say a big thank you to this guy for joining me in Kazakhstan for 4 amazing episodes. This one was by far my favorite. I got to see a whole new part of Kazakhstan, but not just Kazakhstan, a whole new part of the world and camel industry that I never knew about. Fun?
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much. And people, please expand your horizon, visit Kazakhstan, eat food, be good.
You can also follow Bekruz right here on his Instagram. Check out his adventures in Uzbekistan and beyond. Otherwise, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.
Man,
we should ride one of those camels home.
we should drink one of those urine things.
Oh, yeah.